Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our March 31st Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into meditation. It is entitled Striking a Spiritual Balance. We remember to put our program first and to respect our own limits. We strive every day to keep ourselves spiritually balanced. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 3, Conscious Contact. Addicts in and out of recovery are subject to thinking and acting in extremes. Many of us discover a need for personal limits by overdoing things. Even in recovery, sometimes too much of a good thing is just too much. One member shared, I spent 12 hours volunteering in our convention's merchandise room. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but it was every bit as stressful as my most hectic work days. Looking back, I realized that I had misunderstood what it meant to put my program first. The common advice to put our program first isn't meant to shame us into giving and giving and giving some more. Maybe we take one shift in the merchandise room, perhaps even two, but we certainly do not need to take on 6 shifts at the expense of our sanity. While service is a key component of our recovery, balance requires us to pay attention to so much more. Spiritual maintenance takes time and commitment. Many of us develop routines that help keep us spiritually centered. They become the heart of our personal recovery and the wellspring of our spiritual balance. We commune with a higher power in whatever way works for us. We listen by quieting our mind in meditation, by taking a motorcycle out on a winding road, or by listening to newcomers at a chai shop before the meeting. We share our hopes and our pain with other members in a journal or with the universe. When we keep a balanced program at the center of our lives, we're better equipped to navigate life on life's terms. Practicing balance doesn't mean we're spiritually attuned at all times. Rather, it means we notice when we're out of tune and we take action to correct our course. I will listen to my body, mind, and spirit to establish my own limits and explore how I tune in to spiritual balance in my recovery. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the We version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Now, isn't that amazing? That is an amazing meditation. Striking a spiritual balance. So being spiritually balanced doesn't mean that it's perfect. It means that we know how to bring it into balance. What process does it take for you to be spiritually balanced? Recognizing your own limitations and respecting your own limits is one good suggestion. It works for most people that actually do it. And I think that it takes practice. It's not something that comes overnight. It's easy to get it twisted. We hear people say, put your recovery first, and then all of a sudden the person jumps into doing service as though doing service was going to render them a paycheck. It's not. It's service. It's volunteer. Right? And what need is there for one addict to carry the weight of a convention, the merchandise room, on their shoulders? What where does that make sense? That one person would have to work 6 shifts like they were getting a paycheck for it. No, because what happens is you become resentful and you have an attitude and you don't want to be there. And it shows. Ah, man. Now, this merchandise room that I went into here at the Detroit area convention of NA was very, very pleasant. Very, very pleasant. It really wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, maybe eventually there were more tables, but I really only saw 2 tables. They had one table that had all the shirts, hoodies, long sleeve shirts that you could want, right? And then they had another table. And I'm assuming that that is all that there was because, by the convention starts on Thursday. I arrive on Friday. So by then, everyone should be in position, right? And the other table was the jewelry table. And both tables were full of individuals doing the work together. Well, I'll say the jewelry table only had 2 people, but they were very familiar with one another. And one was eating while one was tending to people looking at the jewelry. But the t-shirt table, now that one, there was another one that had to do with the CDs and stuff like that. So I did see that. But those tables were well covered. Well covered. But I cannot imagine, let's go to the jewelry table where there's 2 people. All day, every day, that's where they were. I can't imagine how exhausting that could be. It makes more sense if there's fewer people to do the service work to shut it down for a period of time so that your volunteers, your people doing service can get a break, right? And keep, the morale, the energy surrounding that service positive. It's a simple adjustment. But of course, as addicts, we always go in, right? One is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And what we find is that getting out of balance is so easy for us because that's the mentality that we roll with. We are suffering with OCD. We are suffering with obsession and compulsion, which means that once we get it going, one is not enough. And it wouldn't matter what it is. I guarantee you the person that has a problem saying no to potato chips, okay, you can't just eat just one. I don't even remember the brand, right? But you eat a potato chip and before you know it, the whole bag is gone. And before you know it, you've gotten some more and that bag is gone. The person that has a problem with that is the same person that will have a problem with buying too many of the same outfit in different colors. Because what? At our core, we are addicts in recovery. And the whole essence of being an addict is that we suffer with obsession and compulsion. One is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And that is why this meditation is very important today. Striking a balance. I love the word striking here because it gives me a feeling of trying to strike a match to get it to light, right? Very quick. Sometimes we can get out of balance so quickly. But as soon as we notice, we need to strike a balance. We need to put ourselves back in order, right? Back into balance. Letting our yes mean yes and our no mean no. And only taking on, I give you permission today, only take on what you can handle. If you need permission, not like you need it, but if you need someone to reiterate the importance of having balance in your life, let Mighty Stream be the one today. Right? I don't care what they think about me. Who it's going to affect when you say, no, I can't do that today. I have something else planned today. Yeah, I double dog dare you. Draw a line today on your time and your energy that you just give away freely to everyone else, but find yourself having very little time for prayer and meditation, having very little time to do your step work, very little time to call your sponsor, very little time to engage other addicts in recovery and sit down and have some socialization with them, right? Some fellowship with them, but so quick to give it away. The moment someone asks you to do something, it's not even a consideration about whether or not it fits in your calendar. You spend more time going back through and canceling things because you don't take the time to look at your calendar when you agree to do things, because you don't work well under pressure. You don't know how to say no. You don't know how to say no, not today, or let me get back to you. Let me take some time. I can't do it right now, but let me take some time and look at my calendar and I will get back to you. Oh, you need a decision right now? Well, then I would have to say I'm not able. Drop mic. Yeah, I'm not able. You need to rush me like that? You need an answer right now. Well, I've got a funny feeling if you need an answer right now, you have an answer that you are expecting me to give you. I just got this funny feeling. If it is that urgent, you need an answer right now. That I can't even take 2-3 hours to go through my calendar, or half a day or a day or two. You need an answer right now. I have a funny feeling that you already expect a certain response. And if you don't get that response, it's going to be a problem. You're going to have a resentment with me and you're going to move on to the next victim. Don't let people gaslight you into stuff. Right? Don't let people shame you anymore into certain things, guilt trip you into things. I have to strike a balance because I'm so used to people being able to pull my strings. But if I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. And if I do it, even though I don't want to do it, in the back of my head, all I'm thinking the whole time is, why did you fall for that? You fool. Why did you fall for that? Again. And it starts to eat away at my self-esteem. And it definitely will eat away at the friendship or relationship, because I will just see the individual as a person that just presses to, they don't care what you want. They don't care what you want. They have an expectation that the moment they say anything or ask anything, that they already expect you to just go along with it. I give you permission today to do you. Be true to you. Strike a balance. You don't have to go overboard. I had a sister one time, and she had, she sets up a mode of operation, a mode, right, for every year. In this particular year, she made a lot of people angry. And it was by no means to know. She was so poor at drawing boundaries that she had to make a whole year out of it, of drawing healthy boundaries. But here's the problem. To make a whole year out of saying no, I mean, that's a nice, kind reminder if that's what you need. But there are definitely some things in life that you probably should say yes to. So the point is we can go to an extreme in the negative direction. That's not striking a balance, folks. That's not striking a balance. Striking a balance is being able to weigh things out. And when you go to speak on a situation, you've given it appropriate consideration so that when you give your response, that's the one that truly is what you mean to give. That's a whole nother level of maturity in recovery. And you know what? I think you always reserve the right to change your mind. Yeah. Because sometimes you can get in the middle of something and see that you're the only one that's about it. No one else. No one else, just you. And it doesn't feel so good. You got me once, but you won't get me twice. Right? So let's be mindful today. Listen to your body, listen to your mind and your spirit to establish your own limits and explore how you tune into spiritual balance in your recovery. Because one thing I know for sure, two things for certain. If you don't do it, no one else is going to. And if you don't do it, or even if you do it, you are the only one that is going to feel the weight on a deep level of that decision. Other people might benefit. I'm not saying that other people will not benefit from your decision or not benefit from it. But the weight of not being true to yourself, you feel that. You're the one that looks in the mirror and feels like, you know what? I don't like myself today because I shouldn't have agreed to that. Why did I do that? And you are the one with self-loathing and feeling some kind of way in your feelings because of not being able to make a good decision. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to get to March 31st of any year, but especially this year. I don't want that for you. This is my third year of doing the Just for Today NA meditation. And my third year of doing the spiritual principle of day meditation is coming very soon, right? So I've been doing this podcast for 3 years now, consistently. And I love that. I like that. That is balance for me. That feels good to me. I will never regret doing it. If I stop, I'm not going to regret that either, because if I ever stop doing them, it will be because I've weighed it out and made that decision. Right? I want for you this year to practice on striking a spiritual balance. Because you know why? I think it's what's going to make you feel better. I think it's what's going to make your recovery move further along the line of positivity. And you deserve it. You really do. You've been through a lot. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Have a beautiful day on purpose.